you ready?
I'm ready. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Brought to you by Noah's Arcade.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome
Who am I
to...
talking to?
Phil, you're ruining the illusion. Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
we might have had to bring in some technical wizardry to add this intro at the end. Indeed. So yes, hello folks, welcome to Vanderhoff & Co. episode 30, part 2. Part 2. I'm High Definition.
And I am the one and only Monkey Man Phil.
I don't think we can handle any more of you, Phil.
No, that'd be too much.
Would be too much.
Too many monkeys
Yeah.
jumping on the bed.
You'd have to change it.
Monkeys.
You'd have to change it to Monkey Men, Phil.
Monkey Men.
Yeah.
That would be good.
I don't think.
What's Monkey Men thinking about?
Yeah, you'll have to excuse the sound. We're having to do things slightly differently with tonight. We've got a few. Yeah. So Phil might sound a little distant.
It's only because I need to get closer to you, Stefan.
Yes. It's about time, Phil. That's all I'm saying.
You sure we weren't close enough at EGX Rezzed?
No, because we've shared smaller accommodation.
Oh, we have. I think we will be sharing a smaller accommodation in the future, will we not?
Quite possibly.
Possibly.
As we might be attending EGX, as we had our press passes approved. Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. We will be attending EGX.
Yes.
I think.
In some form or another.
Yeah. What they let us try and what they let us interview are completely different things, but anyway.
Yeah. I think we'll probably still be able to get a few indies.
Oh, we'll be able to get indies. I just think in bigger titles, I don't think we'll be able to get anything.
No. We'll have to see what we can do.
Yeah. Twist some arms, break some legs.
Yeah, definitely. Crack some skulls.
Jaws. This is how you do it, baby.
That is how you do it.
Forever.
Rough and tough. Rough and tumble.
But don't forget the Joker, which leads me on to the first game that we're going to talk about from EGX, doesn't it?
Oh, look at that. Smooth transition there.
Because
That took me a couple
of spades.
Yeah, that took me a couple of minutes to get that.
I'm sorry, I had to do it. I don't know why.
So yeah, why are you referencing Ace of Spades there, Phil?
Well, we at EGX Rezzed got to talk to Ahim, who is he the developer?
He's from Haemimont Games.
Haemimont Games, which is behind Victor Vran.
Victor Vran, yep.
And they've had some recent DLC. That's why I'm making a Ace of Spades reference to Motorhead. They've had some recent DLC that involves Motorhead.
But it's not that recent. But it's the whole reason that they were promoting that DLC and the other DLC was because the game itself is coming to console soon. Right. And the console version is including all of the DLC.
The above, everything. So the Ace of Spades.
Because we actually... I know, Overkill Edition.
Oh, yeah.
Because we couldn't work out if it was the Overkill Edition or if it was just Overkill Edition.
No, we couldn't. But he did tell us in the interview.
He did, yes. But you've got the Fractured Worlds DLC and the Motorhead Through the Ages DLC.
Which is what we got to try out.
It is what we got to try out, and it was very good.
It was very, very good.
I was using my electric guitar, and I was doing knee slides, power slides everywhere.
taken out horses left, right, and centre while I was like a level 1 and you were like level 30, and I was just like, this isn't fair.
Well, I didn't realise that I'd been given such an overpowered character.
I think it's so people were enjoying the game rather than worrying about the fact that they're overpowered or not.
Yes, definitely. So, yeah, I think if we hand over now to past Phil and past Stefan.
Here we go, back to the show floor, guys!
Over to you.
Okay, folks, we are back again. EGX Rezzed, Thursday, what time is it? We're about 1 o'clock now. And yeah, it's Stefan and
Phil.
No Ant, of course, still not with us yet. No shirt and beard. No shirt and beard, Ant. But we have another gentleman with us to talk about Victor Vran, the Overkill. Is it just Overkill Edition or is it the Overkill Edition?
Oh, good question. It's Overkill Edition.
Just Overkill Edition.
Yes, it is.
See, we're putting you to the test already. That's what it is.
So we are going to talk about the Overkill Edition.
The Overkill Edition.
No matter how it's called. For Victor Vran.
Victor Vran. So yeah, thank you for joining us. If you'd care to tell everyone who you are, sir.
My name is Achim Heidelauf. It's very easy for English speaking. So I'm working. I'm from Germany, but I'm working with Hemimont Games, who are based in Bulgaria. And we've been working on Victor Vran, the Overkill Edition with Motorhead Through the Ages and Fractured Worlds, which are two big expansions for the game that we have created. And we are also, I think, pretty famous for the Tropico games, 3, 4, and 5, and different city builders and strategy games. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's a hell of a lineup.
Yeah, that is. We've been there for almost 20 years, man.
Well, that's
older than you are, probably. Longer.
Oh, no, not quite.
I'm just charming. You can buy the game.
Yes. Yeah. So, for anyone listening who hasn't heard of Victor Vran, Overkill Edition or otherwise, care to enlighten us as to what the game is?
Victor Vran is an action RPG, and it came out for PC a longer time ago. The Overkill Edition is the first time you can now play it on consoles, and it's like a full edition with these new expansions that I just mentioned, with Motorhead Through the Ages and Fractured Worlds, and we also have a special goodie in it. And as I said, it's the first time you can play it on the PS4 and the Xbox One.
So, Victor Vran we've not actually played on the game itself yet. We decided, Phil's had a quick go.
Okay.
So it's a top-down action RPG, and you play as Victor Vran?
Exactly. Victor Vran is the main character in the game, and there's lots of stories surrounding him that you will find out about. And, to cut it short and not spoil anything, he's a badass demon hunter who travels to different worlds and cleans them up in a way. And, of course, he has a bigger agenda behind it, but this is something you will find out when you play. And Fractured Worlds and the Motorhead Through the Ages expansions are additions to these. They are new worlds that you can travel to summon.
So, sorry,
man. When the genre, I would say, when you look at it for a second, it's a little bit close to Diablo and these kind of games, Titan Quest, Sacred, these. But when you play it, it's actually a little bit more physical and more about the strategy that you kill your the enemies with. You can jump at walls and jump down on an enemy, or you can roll around them and hit them from the behind. And so, that sums it up, I think.
So, along the way, you start off, I'm guessing, with your basic weapons, basic armor, and potions. I really should have played I should have really made the opportunity, but
you can still do it. So.
Oh no, I'm going to afterwards, but it's probably an idea to have done it before we chatted. So you start with your basic weapons, basic armor, and as you go through, is it a case of you pick up the bits as you go, or through your defeating of...
I defeated a boss and got an electric guitar, your pig or something like that, and I got an electric guitar after finishing it, so it's wonderful.
You have all the loots and treasures you can find, but you can also craft your own stuff. There is a hub where you go back to. So the hub in the original, let's say, Victor Vran game is a castle. That's more like the original game is the world you are traveling in is more like a fantasy vampire kind of thing. So it's a castle you go to, and there you, as I said, you can craft new weapons. You can choose the powers you will carry to the missions. You can choose the weapons you use. You always have 2 weapon types on you, so you can seamlessly switch between, for instance, in the Motorhead game, between a guitar and a big hammer or something.
Okay.
And then you also have the demon powers that are, let's say, external superpowers that you can call in. In Motorhead Through the Ages, for instance, I don't know how much you know about the band, but you probably heard about Bomber from the 70s, the Bomber album, or the Iron Fist. Ace of Spades, you've heard?
Sadly, I mean, I know of Motorhead.
Yeah.
If this had been my dad having this conversation, he'd have been all over it.
Yeah.
'Cause my dad was much more into metal and Motorhead than myself. I know of them.
Yeah.
But how does something the Motorhead expansion is called Through the Ages?
Through the Ages.
Through the Ages.
Yeah.
How does an expansion themed around a band come about? How does something like that happen?
Yeah, that's a crazy story actually, because I mean it started like we talked about the music in Victor Vran, just the soundtrack we had and the stuff we were recording, which was more like instrumental orchestra stuff and very moody and great stuff that's in the game now. But we also thought that it could be worth thinking about putting a real band in it, or even several, and do something in the rock and roll kind of area. And that came out of just playing the game in the office every day, and at a certain point, of course, you switch your own music on while playing it. And several people just realized, man, this is something that's really well for rock and roll and stuff. I had a very close connection to Motorhead anyway, so it was very easy for us to just ask them if they might be interested in giving 2 or 3 songs to us to put into the game, and that's basically it. And then the more we talked, and Lemmy was a crazy gamer anyway. He played whenever he wasn't on stage or in the Rainbow Bar where he played games too. He loved playing video games, so we talked a little bit more, and pretty fast it came up like, hey, why don't you just do a Motorhead video game? Let's do more out of that and not just put the music in. And then we talked in the team how much we felt. Of course, it was an honor to hear that, no question. But of course, it also for us, it had to fit what we wanted to do with Victor Vran. And we didn't, same as Motorhead, they were not interested in just doing a marketing or merchandising stunt and put the stamp on it and that's it. So it had to fit perfectly. And the more we talked, we realized, man, I mean, he could actually travel these worlds that are based on Motorhead history, album covers, lyrics, all that stuff. So what I briefly mentioned earlier about the Bomber, which was a famous album in the 70s, or Iron Fist in the 80s, you can use these as special weapons now.
Yeah.
You can call in the Bomber and smash monsters. You can call in the Iron Fist and it comes from the sky and smashes down. And you have, of course, these all these guitars and bass weapons and more new weapons we have. So. And the boss fights that are based on album covers, and the story that Lemmy tells you in the game. So everything felt really perfect, and it came together. But in the beginning, basically, everybody told us we are completely nuts. There's a Brutal Legend, which is a completely great game based on that, but it's not focused on one band.
More of the genre itself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it was really, we challenged ourselves, like, can that work out? I mean, it's a crazy idea, but now I think also after all the feedback we received, it seems to work out pretty well.
How many tracks have you, like Motorhead tracks, have you actually got on it?
We have 13 tracks, so like an entire album. The 13 tracks are a mix out of the 40 years of Motorhead. Through the ages, the title is not only, it also has a reason. And the nice thing is that we have, apart from these 13 tracks, we have countless instrumentals and versions of songs that you've never heard before.
Oh, okay.
So there's one feature in the game that now in these worlds of Motorhead, there are 3 worlds that you will travel to, and there are big monuments that you can find, like like a skyscraper huge guitar coming out of the ground with skeleton hands on it or something. And you can go up to them and activate them. And what happens is that a Motorhead song starts playing, but only the more you play and the more monster waves you fight, the more instruments get added to it. Sorry. So it's entirely different how you experience a song now. A song from the 70s now starts with a bass or something, and only the bass, and then Lemmy's voice kicks in.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
Or something.
Doesn't bode well for the rest of the weekend if your throat's starting to give up already.
On the first day?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It was you, probably.
So possibly.
No, don't know. The more you play and the more monster waves you fight and the more successful you are, the more instrument gets added. And at the end, it's really like a great feeling when you completed one of these. And there are plenty of them. So, lots of new music from Motorhead as well in the game.
I've seen that you can play as like all the characters from Motorhead as well. Am I right in saying that?
They're real people, Phil. They're not characters. They're actually real people
in the game.
Yeah.
Real people from Motorhead you can play as.
No, you can't.
Can't you? Okay.
But it might be confusing when you don't know the. No. No, we talked about exactly that with the band. Should we not? Should we be able to play Lemmy or even the 3 recent band members, Mickey, Phil, and Lemmy? And we came to the conclusion that it from our perspective as fans and developers, we felt like only Lemmy can play Lemmy. It's not. It's just not okay to play him as a character. He would have been fine with it, no question about it. But we felt that we have all these different armors and costumes in the game anyway that you can switch between, and they have a very big impact on the way that that you play it. It's not just looks, it's way more than that. And so we decided to have 3 new costumes that are based on the 3 band members. So you look similar to them, you have the same clothes on, Lemmy's favorite hat, and Phil's favorite jacket and all that stuff. But it's actually still Victor playing it and using it as an armor and getting the benefit out of it, depending on which band member he chooses. Lemmy is in the game as a storyteller. Sadly, he doesn't talk because he passed away about a year ago, and we didn't do any recordings prior to that. But still, he is. He has the role that we intended him to have and that we discussed. So he's a little bit like your mentor in the game. He gives you an extra power, and he's also the man in charge to tell you, nice. this is what you're gonna do now, Victor. So
that's very cool. So we just see Lemmy. He's the narrator as such. The other band members, it's just merely a costume or armor. We don't. Apart from the music, that's the main thing.
Of course, there are many. We have Lloyd Kaufman from Troma Entertainment in the game. He's the president of Troma. That's also like 40 years more than 40 years old independent movie studio from New York. Most famous for the Toxic Avenger, Sergeant Kabuki Man, and recently returned to Newcomb High. And Lloyd is an old friend of Lemmy. Lemmy was in countless movies that Lloyd shot.
Okay.
And he's also now in his last role. Lemmy will be in Lloyd's Return to Newcomb High Volume 2.
Okay.
So that's where it all comes together. And Lloyd is the main narrator. And also during the missions and the worlds you travel to, you will find pages from a diary. And these pages contain stuff that Lloyd experienced with Lemmy, or he's quoting Lemmy on stuff that he said earlier. He's quoting stuff from the lyrics as well. And there's lots of jokes and also serious stuff. And there are many dozens of these.
So it's not just an expansion on the game for fans of Victor Vran. It's almost an archive of information and a wealth of musical background and history for Motorhead that sadly can't continue due to us losing Lemmy last year. That all sounds amazing, but not only is the standalone, we've got the Victor Vran main part of the game. We've got the Motorhead Through the Ages expansion. There's a second expansion,
Fractured Worlds.
Is that was that before the Motorhead Through the Ages, or was that brought to Victor Vran? Is that a newer expansion?
Let's say if you go through it chronologically, it would be the last one.
Okay.
The idea for the Motorhead game came earlier. Let's say it like that. But then at a certain point, we worked on both of them parallel because they expand the universe of Victor Vran in a little bit different way. So it was something that's let's say Motorhead is a little bit more on the story side, and of course very much about Motorhead as well. What you just said, our goal was to make it really exciting, of course, for the Victor Vran fans. No question about that. New weapons, new monsters, new skills, all the stuff you can do. But of course, it has to be a fan fest for Motorhead, because otherwise they would even kill us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
there's a lot of
really
Motorhead fans out there. Yeah.
And the band too. I mean, they are, if they are not happy with, they will tell you if they are not happy. Man. And Fractured Worlds is more on the, let's say, making it more endless content. So we have the level cap is raised from 50 to 60. It's we have randomly generated dungeons. Like an endless world as well. We can change it all in a day, so you can have daily challenges. It's more about multiplayer, being online, and these. It also has a story element to it, but it's a different kind of expansion.
So it takes the already established Victor Vran and brings it to the more of a multiplayer, so they can come in. And are we talking PvP?
Yes,
or have you've got
co-op with four people, which is tremendous fun. I think we already had it in Victor Vran, but not so much polished as now, and not with the stuff that I just said that we randomly create maps, also in new environments, to have also something visually, of course, that's new. But the random generator, let's say, is the main feature, which sounds to me, even as a gamer, it might sound boring a bit, but when you play it, it's really, you don't have the feeling that it's generated.
No,
it just feels very organic, I'm selling the game, but still, I think I would say it as a gamer from the outside as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's we've seen it on Steam up until now, but there's PS4, Xbox One.
Exactly.
Is that now or that's soon, isn't it?
Very soon.
Very soon.
Yeah. We don't have a date, but it's very soon. Yeah, it will be before summer.
Fantastic. Excellent. Well, I think that's covered
everything.
Yeah, everything. That's amazing. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much.
There we go. Welcome back. Welcome back indeed. That was our catchphrase.
Welcome back to the studio.
Yes, that was our catchphrase for the weekend.
It was. Welcome back to the show floor. Welcome back to the studio.
Yeah.
This high, complex studio that we're in right now. If only you could see it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's expensive. That's what your tax.
So expensive.
It's what your tax dollars go on.
Yeah, it's not a wall to build around Mexico.
No.
It is literally this right now.
Yes. But yeah, Victor Vran, Overkill Edition. Enjoyed that.
Well worth your time.
That was what a really good interview as well. Really enjoyed chatting to him.
Yeah, we didn't know how the interview was going to go, but it came out really well.
Yeah, and speaking of which, we've got another one to come up.
Oh, have we?
And these guys were just over. I was going to say these guys were just actually across the courtyard, weren't they?
They were. Yeah.
Go on.
I was going to say my motorbike was revving for this.
Your motorbike? Oh yes, of course. Phil, you are on fire this evening.
I think I need to plant some seeds.
Well, we'll let you do that a bit later.
That's Ooblets.
Yes, Ooblets.
Ooblets.
But yeah, we were lucky enough to get to chat to Greg Rice of Double Fine about Full Throttle Remastered and Ooblets.
Yes, we did.
We did. Full Throttle Remastered. Did you have a go? Did either of us have a go on that, or did we just watch that?
I don't think either one of us did. I think we just watched the intro and kind of know, not in a horrible way, but you just know what you're expecting from that.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen. You know what you're getting.
Well, we were watching. We were watching that. There was a guy playing it as we were talking to Greg before we did the interview. So
I think I was playing another title, which we've got an interview for at a later date, not on this podcast.
Oh yeah, of course.
That game to start off with, so I wasn't in the interview that heavily on this one because I was in the middle of playing that game.
Yeah.
But at a later date, I joined in the interview.
Yes. Ooblets as well. Did you get to play that?
No, I didn't. It was constantly had people on it, so I didn't really get a chance to sit down and give it a go, unfortunately.
Now I managed. Yeah, it was on your radar, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I got to play it. I went up into the because the Double Fine area was pretty busy like all of the time.
Yeah,
they had it on the ID at Xbox section.
Oh, did they?
So I ended up playing it up there. Yeah, it was all right.
It's like a cross between Pokemon and like Harvest Moon in a sense.
Yes. Yeah, very much so. But yeah, quite an early build. So I think it shows a lot of promise.
It's going to take a bit of time before it actually comes out in real life, not fake life.
Yeah, it's because as much as it's nice to play the games that aren't quite out yet, there are some games that just you can't really kind of get a good feel for at shows and expos and such. And Ooblets is one that requires time to actually sit down and immerse yourself in it.
Yeah, I think there was a couple of those that we're kicking about that we got to play as well. But I think should we cross over now to the show floor?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So over to past Stefan and Phil.
And past Phil.
And past Greg Rice from Double Fine.
Okay, folks, well, if you can still hear me, what you can hear in the background there is the many wonders that are currently on show in the Double Fine section here at EGX Rezzed today. And I'm lucky enough to be joined by a gentleman representative from them. Sir, who are you?
I'm Greg Rice from Double Fine Productions. So I do all their biz dev and marketing and publishing stuff for games like the ones we're showing here.
So from on my right here, we talk about Full Throttle Remastered. First of all, this is one of Tim's original point-and-click adventures from the LucasArts days. Because we've already seen Day of the Tentacle and Grim Fandango. So I wouldn't say last because there's a couple more still, but these are probably the more famous of Tim's.
This is actually the last of the ones Tim led. Yeah, so Full Throttle, Grim Fandango, and Day of the Tentacle were his babies, and we've been laboring over touching up every little bit of animation and making them pretty and ready for re-release, because they haven't been available for years. So,
no.
Yeah.
So we have seen copies of Grim Fandango, Day of the Tentacle, not long kind of the time between. This is Phil, by the way. Phil's another member of our team. He's just been.
He's not covering here.
No, he's not just.
Just a little bit.
He saw me talking to someone tall, thought he needed to be taller and come across, and no. He's just been enjoying nights and bikes.
The legs like hurting, sitting on a bonk.
But so we saw, I think Grim Fandango was the first to get the remastered treatment. We then Day of the Tentacle was last year, I believe.
It was, yeah. So we've been knocking them out one at a time. So we did them in a different order. So actually, Day of the Tentacle would have been the first release, and then Full Throttle, and then Grim Fandango. So we did them kind of in a strange way. But this will be the end of the Tim trilogy. He worked on Monkey Island also, but that was Ron Gilbert was the project lead on that. And Tim was a writer, so these are the ones that he projected.
So is there any particular reason for that order, or it's just how it happened?
Well, I think we just weren't sure if we would get them all at first, and we just felt like Grim was the one that fans were really kind of crying for a long time, so we wanted to knock that one out first, and I'm glad we were able to get to all of them, because they're all great and special and totally different from each other, too, so it's nice to get them all out there.
So, for the uninitiated, if you've been living under a rock these past, because we're talking 80... How far are we going back? No, 95 is the...
Yeah, I should probably know that date. I actually don't off the top of my head. But it's been a while. I mean, Double Fine's been around for 15 years, and Grim Fandango was the last game Tim did at LucasArts. So it's been a while, and they haven't been available. So none of these games have been kept up. They don't run on current machines and things like that. So I think there's a lot of people who've been waiting a long time to play it again, and then there's probably a whole slew of new generation that was just too young to play it that'll be playing it for the first time too.
So people that don't know the names, who have been living under a rock or are under the age of 10, 15, tell us, Full Throttle, what is it initially? Let's start from there.
I mean, it's a biker adventure game, right? So I think that it's cool to see how Tim picks these universes to explore, and Grimmy was Day of the Dead, and Day of the Tentacle is a crazy thing of its own, but Full Throttle is very much like biker gangs, and it's wonderful. It's like a little, it's like an animated movie almost, right? And this one specifically is highly cinematic, and it feels like you're kind of just watching this story unfold and finding your way through little puzzles that continue that story. But yeah, everything's been redrawn. All the animation's been redone by hand in HD, actually in 4K for the re-release. And we touched up all the audio and sound and things as well too, and put in a lot of little features like we have been for these others, like developer commentary and concept art browsers and things like that too. So lots of nice little bells and whistles, on top of just the fact that you can play the original game in its original form as well. Just by touching the touchpad, you can switch back and forth on the fly. It's cool.
Is that including the original sounds in there as well?
Yep, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and there's a lot of ways to kind of mix and match all that stuff too. So if you want to play with new control schemes or not, you can kind of turn those things off and on. Yeah.
So we've got, you say the sound has been all remastered and such. We're talking the original voices, just new clarity, because it's got quite a good, quite an eclectic voice cast, because Mark Hamill is the bad guy, if I remember rightly, isn't it?
Mark is in it, yeah. I mean, the voice cast in these LucasArts games are always amazing, and we actually still use the same casting director for our new games that Tim did back in the day then. But yeah, we just were able to find the original recordings and make sure that they sound a lot better, because they had to be crunched down to fit onto a disc back in the day. So now that we have infinite space on our hard drives, we want to make sure that it's looking and sounding as good as it can.
So, I mean, I'm guessing Tim's quite the perfectionist when it comes to 99% of... Yeah, that little... Yeah, that says it all.
It should be, and we all are. I mean, these are special games that are like people's all-time favorite games, so they're going to pour over every inch of it, and we want to make sure that we're doing them right, for sure. And it's interesting, too, because there's a lot of things that just... With the fidelity of the old, I think that sign in the background, you can't even read what it is in the old version, so there's a lot of having to go back to the original artists and ask what that was intended to say, so we're actually touching it up correctly. And the original game was also not widescreen, so it was 4:3, so there's these bars on the side that we had to paint with new information, so it was nice to be able to round the whole gang back up and get them talking about something that was so long ago in their minds. But, yeah.
So it's nice to be able to come back, and you've got. So I'm guessing that you were able to pretty much piece together the original team.
Yeah.
You've got. I'm guessing Tim probably keeps meticulous amounts of detail, as well as files, so you can just relate back. You'll get a lot of games that'll come out with remastered content, and you'll find that the voices have changed, pieces of music have changed because of licensing issues, or the fact that files were originally lost. So I'm guessing that remastering these particular previous titles is actually fairly easy. You just delve into the archives and
we're lucky there, just because a lot of game studios probably don't back up that stuff super well and things get lost, but the fact that it's Lucas and LucasArts, they have a huge archive, for all their film stuff as well as their interactive stuff. So we were able to go to the Skywalker Ranch and dig through their archives and find all of the original source materials, and that's why we're able to do it to the level of detail that we are.
So we are making this sound incredibly easy. There has to be some sort of element that you'll get to during the remastering, and you're just like, we're kind of...
It's definitely not easy. Video games in general aren't, but these games are so old. You're working with really old code bases that were built on technology that's, come and gone. So we definitely bang our heads over things that people just don't know how to fix for a long time, and finally kind of untangle it. And it's also just not everything's in the archives. There's a ton of 3D art in this game too, with all the biker scenes, and so a lot of that stuff had to be reconstructed from scratch and built out in 3D again. We find a lot, and it's definitely a good starting point, but then there's gaps that need to be filled by our artists as well. So.
Well, it looks like they've done a fantastic job with it. Mm-hmm. So we're about 2 weeks away, kind of almost 3 weeks away from release. So are we seeing PC, console, overall?
Yeah, so it'll be on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita, and then PC, and eventually Mac and Linux as well, just like the others have been. So.
And full trophies and achievements and all mod cons.
Exactly.
So as well as the release coming soon, we're getting all the trophy bits and pieces. Are we going to see? You usually get the audio commentaries tucked away. You get behind the scenes stuff, kind of stuff that we don't usually get to see. We're talking 10, 15 years ago, like production notes and bits and pieces. Are we going to find it's a
there's
all-in-one
concept art browser in there, and it kind of unlocks as you play through the game. And then we got as many people from the original team together as we could to sit and play it together and talk about it and share stories. So there's developer commentary sprinkled throughout the game as well. So yeah, the whole package.
The whole package.
Yeah.
Well, we never scrimped on when it comes to the remastering of any of Tim's previous titles, and any of the new ones, to be honest. You do usually get excellent value for money, as well as amazing games. But we've also got, next to Full Throttle Remastered, Ooblets. Are we saying that right? Ooblets.
Yeah, and Nights and Bikes. Yeah, we have a bunch of games here that are from our Double Fine Presents publishing label. So that's something that we started a few years ago and have been spinning up more in recent years. There's actually a big wave of releases we're having like right now from Double Fine Presents. So we just put out everything from David O'Reilly a week ago, and that's here in the Left Field collection. We have Nog coming out soon from Co-op in Montreal. That's also in Left Field collection. So those are like close. And then Gang Beasts, which has been in early access for a while now, is like about to have its full retail release. And it's 1.0, I guess I should say, and coming out on PlayStation. And it's on the other side over there too as well, with crowds of people playing. So that's kind of like the current wave of Double Fine Presents, and then the next ones that will be coming are Ooblets and Nights and Bikes, which we have here at our booth as well. That we're very excited about.
So, are you able to talk about Ooblets? Well, I guess if we go straight into that as well.
Sure.
If you've got the time, we don't want to keep you from.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
So, Ooblets, we've seen it. The trailer. Mm-hmm. It's kind of Harvest Moon meets Pokemon meets it's like an amalgamation of numerous.
Yeah, it's like all your favorite games in one. Yeah, it's got bits of Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing with the way the town works and the folks you meet there. But yeah, it's a small 2-person team. Rebecca and Ben, who've been making it for 7-8 months is all now, but it's really shaping up and they're just killing it. And yeah, we're super excited about it. It's beautiful and charming, and I think all those games you just mentioned are, people love that stuff, and I love that stuff, and it's fun to see their version of it.
It's got the aesthetic is, I'm trying to come up with something coherent.
Yeah.
The aesthetic to it is very Double Fine. Did it start out like that before it became a Double Fine Presents title, or?
Yeah, no, for sure. It was just something we caught wind of on social media. Rebecca and Ben have been really good about tweeting out GIFs very frequently of the game, and everyone I saw was like, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. I want to be involved. And we just reached out and try to be helpful however we can, and eventually trick them into letting us be their publisher.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, what we're seeing at the moment is still just a demo? Is it a pre-alpha build? And
yeah, this is just a demo section of an early section of the game, but it's a whole town area, and you can find Ooblets and garden and battle other Ooblets out in the wild. It gives a good snapshot of what to expect from the game, for sure.
Do you get seeds and you have to go and plant them and stuff like that?
Yeah, and the seeds actually grow into Ooblets in many cases, but also plants that you can feed your Ooblets and things like that as well for leveling them up.
They all follow you around, don't they? As you go along.
Yep.
You get following you around at this stage.
In the demo, I think max out at 2, but that'll change in the game. But yeah, they're being very open about development. They live stream every week. They put out tweets all the time. So if you just follow their Twitter, the Ooblets Twitter, you'll see exactly what's happening. But lots to come on that one for sure. Yeah.
Sorry, cut you off there.
No, yeah.
So, Ooblets, how long are we looking for release on?
Yeah, I think we're still in the thick of it, so I don't think we're saying too much about it, but it's going to be at least a year, if not more. But they're just getting started, for sure.
Oh, okay, so it's definitely one to watch.
Yes. And then we just announced it's going to be on Xbox One, too, so they have a partnership with ID at Xbox, so it's up at their booth as well. But that'll be coming PC and Xbox, and yeah, it's going to be one to watch for sure.
Fantastic. Well, I think that pretty much covers. We do have another session booked for Knights and Bikes. We do.
We won't spoil you on that, though.
No.
It's wonderful. And those guys are here riding bikes over there. Definitely.
That's the squeaking that we've just all been hearing in the background.
If you've heard bike horns in the background, that's because people are sitting on bikes to play this game right now.
Not that comfy if you're listening.
No, I bet not. Yeah.
Well, luckily, I'm not, so my neck is actually starting to...
I was on the kids' bike.
Oh, yeah. Actually, the kids' one is surprisingly more comfortable than the big one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was like, you getting off that bike, Phil, was like when that guy with that really tall guy gets out of the small car in The Simpsons. And he's like, "Oh, you laughing at my small car?" That was, that was you on that bike. Well, awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Yes, for sure.
We're back.
We're back. Back with the ill behaviour,
Back again. Oh, we both went for different songs.
We did go for different songs.
I prefer your one.
What, Renegade Master?
Yeah, I haven't heard that for ages, actually.
It's a tune.
Yeah, it is a tune.
So, that was us chatting to Greg at Double Fine. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed chatting to him. He was a really nice guy.
I like the fact that we spoke to Double Fine and we got 2 games.
We did. Didn't expect.
We got 2 games.
Didn't expect to be able to do that.
No, quite a nice transfer as well, if I remember correctly.
Believe so, but
I think
I was kind of a little disappointed that Tim Schafer wasn't there.
Let's be honest, Tim Schafer has got a lot to do in his life. Like, he's got to wake up, and then he's got to go to the shop, and then he's got to go and have poo, and then he's got to go to work. And I think if anyone doesn't know who Tim Schafer is and what he does for work, then I'll be shocked.
Yeah. But Greg did a great job, and it was really awesome to have him join us and chat about Full Throttle Remastered, which is out in about a month's time, I believe.
Wow.
Ooblets is to be confirmed. There's it's not quite there yet.
Not quite ready, but as he did say, it was only a studio of 2 that are making the title.
What, Ooblets?
Yeah, 2 people making the game.
I thought that was the other one. The other interview that we've got lined up at...
No, he did say as well that this is a 2-person job, if I remember correctly.
I'll have to listen to the interview now to try and remember.
Be able to do that in the cut.
It was a week ago, so I've slept a little bit since then.
Yeah, there's that.
So on to the next interview that we were lucky enough to get was for a game called Holy Potatoes, We're in Space.
Goodness. I think there's a lot of potato cats in that game.
I didn't see any potato cats in the game, but
we got thrown a potato cat.
We were given a potato cat for our troubles.
Troubles?
My son, I passed that on to my son, and he loves it.
Does he?
He laughs at his little bum. He's got the little cross.
That cross on his bum is really funny.
Yeah.
They've done a good job of it.
Zachary thinks
it reminded me of Bob's Burgers.
See, I've not seen Bob's Burgers.
There's an episode of Bob's Burgers where the owner's wife's sister goes and paints a load of portraits of different animals from their perspective of behind. So you see a lot of whole.
Oh, okay. That's just weird.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that.
It's a funny episode, I'm not going to lie.
I'll have to check that out. So Holy Potatoes, We're in Space, is you're a spaceship and you're a crew of potatoes.
It
is.
It's an unusual one. It's kind of like an RPG sort of element cross between what is that game? Like
like Advance Wars?
Nintendo. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah,
in fact, I was about to say Nintendo and you said Advance Wars. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of.
Well, I think we actually commented on that in the interview. Because it's got the split screen kind of turn-based battles, and it also reminded me of the old school 2D Dragon Ball Z games when they go split screen.
Okay.
The old fighting games when you could take off and it would go split screen, and it reminded me of that.
So I don't think I've ever played those, but it was very interesting. I think the funniest part was when he came over to me when I started playing it, because I think you went off to the toilet and I basically he was like, the hardest part of this demo is coming up with a name for the ship. And I think I typed in I don't care. That's the ship's name.
Yeah. I came.
I was just like, oh.
I came back and I was like, "What is he doing?" And I just laughed behind you.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to chat to Ivan, who is from Diet Daylight Studios, the folks behind Holy Potatoes. We're in Space. So yeah, this is.
Let's go on down to the show floor.
Diddle-a-doo, diddle-a-doo, diddle-a-doo.
Thanks, guys. See, I'm doing like Phil. I'm doing like if we were recording.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Yeah, well, you've got to say thanks, guys. Thanks, you guys in the studio. Yeah, we're down on the show floor at EGX Rezzed. Stefan and Phil, once again, we have another guest with us. Say hello, Phil. You're not the guest, but
Hello, future Phil.
future Phil. Yes, because it'll be. Yeah. So we have another guest to chat about another game on the show floor. This time it is Holy Potatoes. We're in Space. We didn't know an awful lot about the game. I just wanted to chat to you because of the title.
Oh yeah, it's a great title.
So who are you, sir?
I'm Ivan Moltini. I'm kind of like the people's person for Daylight Studios. And yeah, this right here, the game that you guys tried out is Holy Potatoes, We're in Space. And it's kind of like a sequel, not really a sequel though, to our first game, Holy Potatoes, A Weapon Shop, which is kind of like a management sim. Takes place, in a potato-filled universe. And we decided, you know what, let's grab the potatoes, we'll shoot them up in space. And we decided to introduce a whole lot of other vegetables like carrots and zucchini and what else? We have leeks, we have pumpkins, we have eggs, we have everything under the sun. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the gist of it. You play as two potato sisters, Cassie and Faye, and they're all about gallivanting through space looking for their grandfather Gigi. Because what happened was he was incarcerated by the Eclipse, which is an evil corporation because he didn't pay his taxes.
Okay.
So you're just going around trying to find him and everything, and you're following this big overarching storyline and stuff like that. And you get to learn about the potatoes and the universe the whole way through. And because it's procedurally generated, the beginning and the end of the game is always going to be the same. But we have like 30 or 40 stories that we've written, so going through it is always going to be different. So we really wanted to play on that replayability factor of it all. So yeah.
So I was going to ask, is it because they are potatoes? So the main race, they're potatoes.
Yeah, you play as potatoes, but you're taking on engineers onto your ship, and they're from all different races, as I said before, And we play a lot with like puns and like pop culture references and stuff like that. Like we have Egward Norton and stuff like that, and just a lot of different things, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's called Holy Potatoes because the first game was just potatoes, so we decided to keep the IP and, again, shoot them up in space, but we've introduced a lot of different, types of classes and races and stuff like that.
So, on first impressions, it's it looked to me like a spaceship management. And then, Phil, you were playing it. You went down and explored a planet, and that then became a turn-based combat. So, through the spaceship management, I'm guessing as you go through different missions, your ship levels up, your characters level up, you're able to improve the weapons and such, and then as you get is it through the exploration that you gain more engineers and more vegetables?
Yeah, pretty much. So the way it works is we wanted to take some elements from our first game because people loved it, but we also wanted to kind of stray away from it being so idle. So what we did was we wanted to keep the core loop of the game very simple, right? So you've got your ship management, where you've got your crafting, you've got your research room, you've got your therapy room, you've got your training room, you've got your bridge where you do your loadouts. But then, we wanted to really bank on that just exploration of space. We wanted to go out and really go down to the planets. And the way that it works when you're going down to the planets is you have one or two things, right? Either you have random encounters, which are very small, like short story-based snippets where you're making decisions and it's a vector game later on, or you have turn-based combat, where you're fighting all these different like bad vegetables and stuff, like all these baddies and stuff that you're finding, and that is turn-based combat. And through them you gain different what's it called? Kind of like weapon components, where you use them to craft new weapons. And as you fight like better and harder enemies, you're getting better and more powerful weapons and stuff like that. And then we also have a hub station, where when you go there is where you can buy weapons as well, sell your weapons. You can hire your engineers there. Or you can find them through like storyline missions. You can find them through random encounters. So that's the thing, like every time you play the game is always going to be different. So you're never always going to find the same people. Some of them are like legendary engineers, which only happen if you've went through one sort of storyline and stuff like that. Like Darth Tater, which is from Darth Vader. He comes from one of the stories like later on in the game and stuff like that. So yeah, we really just wanted people to play the game as many times as possible so they can learn everything there is to know about the Holy Potatoes universe and stuff like that.
There's quite a few references in the game.
We have Scallion Johansson, we have Darth Tater, we have John Nose, we have there's too many. I think we have something like 56 engineers, and not counting like storyline bosses as well. And they all play along with pop culture references and stuff like that. And we just turn them all into either like potatoes or spring onions or anything. We're stupid.
It's such an original idea, but you can kind of see there's a few. There's a few hints at like kind of the turn-based, side-by-side turn-based combat has a I can't think of this series, the old
Final Fantasy?
and the old kind of Battalion Wars kind of a thing.
Yes, Battalion Wars, yes. Yeah, that was an inspiration of ours, as well as, of course, Faster Than Light, you know what I mean? But we've taken a little bit of a lot of different games and kind of mashed them together to make something completely different.
So, you say the original was Potatoes?
Yeah. The first one was Holy Potatoes, a weapon shop, which is kind of like the other side of an RPG. So instead of going out and questing and killing things, you're just an NPC. You sit and you manage your shop and you make the weapons. The heroes come in and they go like, oh, I really want a battle axe or something. So you craft them a battle axe and they go off and do all the killing and exploring and leveling up and stuff through your weapons. And then you gain like more fame. And then people hear of your shop, so they come in and they go like, oh, you're that potato smith. I want weapons from you. So, we kind of looked at the other side of an RPG with that one. Yeah.
So how does the transition go from potatoes, Holy Potatoes, a weapon shop?
Well, see, that's the thing. So they're not direct sequels. But there is an homage in this of our first game. But it is a secret storyline that you have to find.
Okay.
It kind of it's kind of a spoiler if people haven't played it. Or people haven't found that story. But yeah, he is in there, so people will recognize some characters in one storyline from the first game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's currently out on Steam and...
It's on Steam, GOG, Humble Store, Bundle Stars, a bunch of other places. We're selling physical copies in Poland, apparently. Like, it's everywhere. You Google it and you'll find it somewhere. You turn over a rock and we're selling it there as well, so
fantastic.
It's really everywhere.
So yeah, we'll give you 30 seconds now. This is your opportunity to shout to the heavens, to space, and tell the people Holy Potatoes were in space.
Right. So
why they're...
I mean, we pretty much said everything there is to know about the game, but, Holy Potatoes were in space, it's a casual game. We kind of cater towards the hardcore players and the casual players. It's the kind of game where you just go home, you relax, throw your shoes off, get a beer, and just sit there and, read all these little puns and silly little stories, and super colorful. Anyone between the ages of like 5 and 50 or 60 can play the game. We've got all these cute little characters, we've even got a little space cat in there. So it's really, anyone under the sun that just wants to play a fun little game, definitely pick it up.
Fantastic. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Cheers.
So, yes.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thanks, Ivan.
Thanks, Stefan.
Thanks, Phil. Good night, John boy.
Good night, Mary.
So, yeah, Holy Potatoes, we're in space. Am I right in thinking that it is out now on Steam at $11.99 as a bargain, and you can get the soundtrack, and you can buy a bundle. What was that?
I don't know.
Are you letting off some windy pops?
No. What are you talking about?
Okay. Philip. There is a demo available, and you can also buy a bundle of that and the previous game.
Oh yes, Home Potato Weapon Shop.
Yes.
That's only £20 and 68p.
That is a bargain.
There's a bargain. 2 games at £20 and 68p.
And see,
You can't go wrong.
patch 1.1.0 is now live, and you can have the Space Cat pilot, Potato Cat pilot.
Wow. Oh yeah, I can see that. I would like a Space Cat pilot. Who wouldn't?
Well, exactly.
They're amazing.
They are.
They're amazing.
Hang on, did he called it Potato Cat, didn't he?
He did, but then it is Space Cat in Potato Land.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. So I
So
suppose.
it's Potato Cat.
Yeah.
But it's only Potato Cat to us, but in their land it's just a cat because they're all potatoes.
Of course. Good
See?
thinking there, Phil.
But if you went to the kitchen, it could get a little bit dangerous.
That's a terrible segue there, Phil. That was dreadful. You were doing so well.
So well, up to this point.
But in the haphazard segue there, our fourth
I
and
think I fell down at the same time.
quite possibly our fourth and final interview for this episode, we were lucky enough to chat to Lucy and Sean from The Dangerous Kitchen about their game Mambo, which is coming to Nintendo Switch.
I think is it not already on Switch?
Not yet, I don't think.
Not yet.
I think it's
on Steam.
It's out on Steam already. Mambo, Dangerous Kitchen.
Mambo.
Because they had a Kickstarter, which went well, and it's also coming to PlayStation. Rather than us guessing bits and pieces,
let's just talk to the show floor in what we like to call luxury, where not everyone gets to go. The press room.
The press room. I do like
the press room.
I do like being able to walk into the press room.
It's nice. You just show your wristband and you go, look, I'm press. I'm impressed the fact that I get to use this room.
Yes.
That was terrible.
Okay, welcome back, folks.
That's right.
Welcome back, Phil.
Hello, welcome back, Stefan.
We have more guests. We have 2 people. This time, 2 guests.
One more than last time. Probably.
Yes, and maybe one less than... Anyway, we're rambling now. It's been a long sort of day and 3/4, but probably not quite as long as it's been for these 2 folks who've been
standing up all day.
demoing their game to the public. Yes, welcome. Thank you for joining us. If you wouldn't mind introducing yourselves.
Hi, I'm Sean from The Dangerous Kitchen.
I am Lucy from The Dangerous Kitchen.
Thank you again for coming along from your dangerous kitchen. Is it dangerous? It can be at times.
Depends on who's in it, I'm guessing.
There are strange creatures that are...
So rather than developers, you refer to yourselves as cooks?
Sometimes, yeah.
Chefs.
It's more fun, right?
So, EGX Rezzed this weekend, what do you guys have on show?
We have Mambo, which is a 4-player single-screen action platformer. Kind of like a minimalistic Smash Bros. Style thing. And we're lucky enough that we're in the Nintendo booth demoing on Nintendo Switch for the first time ever. It was on there as of about last week.
Okay.
Just slightly intense, but it actually worked, which is great.
It's so it was kind of down to the wire then, was it? Whose nails were being bitten, or was it all a group effort?
Well, he's always relaxed. He's fine.
Oh, okay.
He gets the most sleep. Myself and the coder basically don't sleep, and he just comes in relaxed. He whips us, plays Zelda, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I can't stop playing Zelda. So good.
On a side note, there's a patch that's just come
Yes,
out. And
I heard.
But we didn't come here to talk about Zelda. We came
I've
to
got it in
talk
my
about.
bag, I can bring it on play. Maybe you just sat there playing it now. Yeah, Mambo's a great game.
Back to Zelda. Okay, so Mambo, it's a kind of scaled down Smash Bros style. You're a ball. What is that?
They're spherical. We don't know what they are. They sort of created themselves.
The game birthed itself.
Yeah, it did.
In the kitchen. The dangerous one.
Yes, that's what happens when kitchens get dangerous.
The whole idea for Mambo, where does that come from? Because we've seen it in
various iterations on other systems at previous. Well, you've played it at
EGX,
last year's Rezzed,
and the year before's EGX up in Birmingham. But yes, last time it was on the SNES controllers, as I said earlier, and this time it's on a Joy-Con.
Yes, the Joy-Con.
Joy-Con.
So where does the Mambo come from?
I don't know. It's honestly, this whole process has just been like, let's do this, oh, it's random, let's do this, and just it birthed itself.
It's really organic. We were really hyped for Smash Bros.
That was the inception, yeah.
That was the inception.
We were like, oh my god, Smash is coming out.
It went on through 3DS.
And our teammate learned how to code, so at that point we were like, let's celebrate Smash Bros. And then we made the Mambo, and then...
We were like, hey, this prototype's actually really fun, we should actually make this game. So we did, and we're still here, still making this game.
So the first version of Mambo, that started on what system did we...
A Mac.
So that was on a Mac?
Yeah.
Using Unity.
Okay, and it just kind of started from there. What we've just played out on the show floor was the multiplayer kind of Smash element,
yes,
if you will. But you say you've got a build of a single-player campaign as well. What does that...
Right here is, it's kind of like a Mortal Kombat tower mixed with WarioWare.
Okay.
So it was basically gameplay challenges. So we looked at like Super Mario 3D World is a great example. Like there's these 10-second challenge rooms. So we're like, let's do that. So like every area, like bit of the tower is like a new gameplay challenge. So we're like escape, you have to escape, or survive, or destroy, just gameplay basically. So there's no AI, like usual fighting games have AI or whatever. We're like, that's a bit
there are bosses and stuff.
There is bosses.
There's not AI in the sense that there's another Mambo.
Yeah, we didn't want to do that, just like the obvious things. We kind of made our own interesting moments.
So the Mambo of the title are these spherical...
Yeah,
we think they're called that.
You think...
We don't know
okay.
we don't know what they are. Someone suggested the headed Teletubbies once.
Radioactive Skittles.
Yeah,
radioactive Skittles.
That's good.
Minimal Power Rangers as well.
Yeah, Minimal Power Rangers.
Minimal Power Rangers. So, as you, I'm guessing, as you play through the campaign, the various challenges they rack up in difficulty.
Yes.
Until you get to the bosses. Are there particular you have zones, or it's just a tower that?
So there's 5 towers. I think there's like a tutorial, which is easy, medium, difficult, and really hard. Once you finish all of those, and maybe not once you finish all of this, but there'll be like a tower rush. We can do all of them, like a limited amount of lives, which will be really fun.
And we have bosses. Yeah, some are extremely powerful. Basically, if we can't do them, they go in a really hard tower.
Okay, fair enough. So
if anyone can do them, well done.
Exactly. Well, we wanted something that we would be screaming at, because that's what the fun is, really. We do have bosses as well.
Okay.
No one's got to the end of this solo, but there is a boss at the end. I mean, there's a small boss that people have seen before, majority of the way through the tower, but then there's some really, really hard stages, and then there's a boss, but no one's got to it. No one's
okay.
I think only Sean can get to it.
And what level's that on? Medium, is it?
The boss?
On this?
This is kind of like a remix.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, we remix some stuff.
Oh, okay.
So people could try it, just lots of different things.
So the single-player campaign, just the one, but you've got the multiplayer campaign, 4 people on the screen at the same time, battling it out for domination.
Yes, domination.
You have there are different modes. Do you have a team deathmatch or anything along those kind of lines?
So we have a survival mode, which is separate to these other 2 modes. You have one platform that breaks as well, and then sort of some invaders that may or may not be from space, kind of style, come down and there are different waves. Oh, very exciting.
I think he's just tripped over.
Oh, that's good.
Or he's brought chocolate or something. Anyway.
Or something. So survival, there are different waves and different creatures come after you, and you have to survive.
It's a co-op as well.
Yeah, co-op.
Okay. Now, the mode that we were playing, was that just...
That was Mambo.
That was Mambo.
The regular, original multiplayer.
Okay. And that was the original... Was that the original thing that you all came up with?
Yeah.
Your Smash-inspired mode as such. So we were able to choose from I think there was like 6 or maybe 10 different stages that you could pick on that particular one.
On that one, there's 21 stages at the moment, so we're going to get up to 51 in Mambo.
Not many of them.
Nah.
And each one has a different peril, I assume, because the one we were on filled with water, and we were still fighting within that, and then floating in the water, and then as it drained away, it kind of everyone got stuck on different things and fell down holes that had been made, and so I'm guessing each of the different ones has its own different identity.
That's how, because all the players, they're different colours, so I think maybe psychologically they're kind of different. Yellow's a bit scared and that kind of thing.
Okay.
But they are essentially the same character. So the way we've varied the game is to make lots of different stages and different blocks. Because when you hit each other into blocks, the blocks break, and that's how you kill people. You don't grab stage. So that's how we vary the gameplay.
Yes, the levels are the different.
Sorry. I was going to say the graphics, the graphical style to it. It's got a kind of. It's not quite 8-bit, but it's not quite pixel kind of. It's quite a unique looking game. Is there any particular reason for the way it looks? Did you always want it to kind of look this?
I don't know, because like visually, I personally don't care about visuals that much. So it's kind of.
I mean, it obviously has to look at least appealing.
Yeah.
But
it's just, I don't know, it's just really random. Like sometimes I'll draw something and then just design it, and then we just add some stuff, and it's all just like a crazy mix of just randomness.
So it's slightly more mixed media than just pixel art, because Sean makes like some really interesting, weird things and weird creature designs, and then we just sort of chuck as whatever we feel like in, basically. We haven't really set any rules with how we want it to look. It just all ended up being kind of a mix of stuff.
Oh, okay.
We hope it works. It seems right.
So you said that the build that you've got on the Switch at the moment was kind of first on there last week. Are we looking? Do we have any kind of a date for its?
We don't have a specific date.
Appearance?
Our flyers say probably summer.
Okay.
We're hopefully looking about around June-ish. We hope. It's getting there.
But it felt like a really the Switch, because it's been on other systems, isn't it?
Yeah. So we were very lucky to be approached by Nintendo to be on the Switch.
But it's not on other systems yet. We were aiming for Sony, but the Switch kind of happened, so we went for that first because it's a better business decision for us.
So you don't say no to Nintendo?
No.
So
No.
No.
You can't say no.
You can't say no. I mean, you physically probably can't say no.
Personally, if Nintendo approached, regardless of any question, they said, "Can we have your firstborn son?" I'd say yes. To be honest, it's Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, technically, Mambo is our firstborn child,
So you said yes.
Please.
But it's a very the feel. It suits the Joy-Con.
Yeah, I don't
well.
know. We did not. Obviously, we couldn't have planned that. We didn't know the Switch existed.
Did we?
He might have. I feel like spiritually, he just sensed it in the air, possibly.
But you said, Phil, at previous at EGX last year, it was being you were using SNES controllers.
Yeah, because obviously the controls are really minimal.
Or Super Nintendo style controllers.
No,
they were official.
Oh, they were actually official SNES controllers.
So the way we did it was connected to a computer, but there were adapters, which obviously you want the official ones because they're the defaults.
Well, of course, yeah.
Don't want to break halfway through the day.
No.
And the Switch, Nintendo are kind of portraying it as this amalgamation of all of their history into this new piece of kit. So it's almost as if by fate it happened that you were using the SNES, and then they approached and...
There's some black magic going on here.
Yeah.
Are you admitting something, Sean? Don't admit that.
But, we had tremendous fun, even more so because I actually won that match.
I got most kills.
Yeah, but I won, Phil.
I got 6 kills, you only got 5.
I won. That's it.
All right.
Yeah, but...
For the first time, you've won.
Yes. I haven't won a game at all this weekend, except for now. So, But, no, we had tremendous fun playing it. It looks great.
It feels great as well.
It does, yeah. I couldn't quite hear it, so I probably couldn't have made out any of the awesome music that one of your talented people, or, well, I guess as your chefs yourself. Oh, okay, you did.
Some of the music.
Oh, I wrote basically the two really creepy tracks. So the result screen, which terrifies some people, and one other page. But Sean makes all the really weird sound effects.
Okay.
So all of the sound effects. And then the rest of the music is done by our third member, Amit, who is also the boss who codes the game.
Well, if it hadn't have been quite so loud round there, which is why we've escaped through here, I'm sure we'd have heard it and loved it, because it just seems like a fun party game, and it's
easy to get out, easy to learn. Just pick up and play at any stage.
The portability of the Switch, that you can just pop it down, pop off the Joy-Cons, and just play with friends wherever you are. I think the Mambo really just suits that.
Thank you.
I think it's good.
Yep.
Well,
I still can't believe it's on the Switch. I'm still not over it. I just can't.
You keep having to keep pinching yourself each day.
Well, I keep just molesting this Switch, and it's like, hello.
They are nice. I do like. I brought mine with me this weekend, and I was sat on the train, just Zelda.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and then Phil got on. I was like, just ignored him, just carried on playing.
I'm going to see if I can hook my Vita up to my phone to try and play any games at home.
Yeah, but well. Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us both. I wish you all the best of luck with the Mambo once it hits retail. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully you've had 14 minutes off your feet and you feel a bit better now.
I feel great.
You can pretend you're still interviewing, you just stay here for a little bit longer.
So, there we go.
That was the Mambo.
That was the Mambo.
We got to play it, didn't we, Stefan?
We did.
You won technically, but on another note, I killed the most people.
Yeah, but I still won.
You won, but I killed the most.
The game said I won, so I won. Regardless of you killing
them. I had more sweets or my spheres in my jar at the end of it.
Yeah, but I'd still won.
I was the best killer, you were the best staying alive person.
I thought that was the whole aim. I won, so
It is the aim.
Yeah, there you go.
It is the aim. So you win.
It was the only game I won that weekend.
I think it was. I think you won against yourself a few times.
I always win against myself. That's because I'm better than me.
Always.
Always.
Constantly learning, constantly growing.
Evolving. I like to think evolving.
Through time, becoming a better Stefan every second.
Yes, definitely. There we go. I think that'll do it for another episode. That'll do, Pig, for another EGX Rezzed. What?
Another EGX Rezzed. I think, as you're saying, it will do for another EGX Rezzed until next time, which will be probably the next couple of days, I'd say. At the moment.
We'll try and sort out the audio stuffs. We'll get there for next time.
We always will.
Yes. Yeah, I hope you're all enjoying the interviews as much as we enjoyed recording them and talking to people.
Talking to them and playing the games.
Yeah. I really enjoyed meeting everyone that we had the opportunity to meet. So
it was good fun. And
I hope the fact that we had a good time and liked chatting to the people, I hope it comes across and the interviews sound good. So let us know.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, get in touch. Go on, Phil.
Tell us what we're all about.
Yeah, so come and find us on Facebook, Noah's Arcade UK. We're on Twitter as well, Noah's Arcade UK. On our website as well, noahsarcadeuk.com. Yeah, all over the place.
Having all of the fun all over the place.
Where can people find you, Phil?
They can find me at Twitter, MonkeymanPhil.
Yes, and you can find me on Twitter, High Definition.
I can.
Yeah.
Well,
so
they can find me in the pub that I work at.
Quite possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah, you're not actually that difficult to find.
Source, find though.
Seeing because you are of quite a large stature.
You just walk in and go, oh look, it's him.
It is. It's him. Are you still wearing your press band?
I actually am.
Ah, legend.
I'm debating about seeing how long it lasts and seeing if I can get it to the next press one and confuse everyone wearing both of them.
Just go for years and years.
Last that long.
Just covered in press wristbands.
Yeah, and everyone would be like, oh my god, that guy must be something special.
His whole arm is covered in pressed wristbands.
He must be amazing.
They call him Phil Pressband Newbie.
Newbie.
Cool.
Newbie.
Well, Phil.
It's another episode done.
For another episode.
Thank you.
See you again soon.
Thank you, Stefan.
Thank
See
you, Phil.
soon.
Bye now.
Bye.